Morning YouTube, Sunday the 2nd of September, and time to do a Forex review video as we're in the new month, so we can look at some monthly candles, but more importantly, just so I can start putting more accountability on myself with my Forex trading. Now, I know how to read a chart, that's never been an issue for me, but for 3 years I've consistently lost money. As I'm sure a lot of people that trade Forex can relate to. It's a bit like chess. It's easy to understand, get your head around it. It's very hard to master and become consistent. So I've been only trading on a demo account for the last 6 months, and I'm only using the 0.01 lot sizes. This is due to keeping the risk low, but also meaning that I'm focusing more on the process rather than the outcome. And also, when I do get to a position where I've proven to myself that I can be consistent and profitable, with the recent changes to leverage with a lot of brokers in the EU, it's massively reduced. So a 0.01 lot size is a realistic lot size that I'll be trading with. I'm happy with that. That's what I was trading with anyway. It's just that I would have a very impulsive thought process of this was the trade that would make me lots of money, and I would just stove my whole account in on that one account. So I'm going through unlearning 3 years of bad habits, 3 years of doing things the wrong way. But over the last 6 months, since I've changed my approach and certainly changed my mindset around things, I have started to see more consistency and more control. One of the other biggest changes is at work. I can no longer get onto TradingView, so you cannot see TradingView in our work computers, which means I can only look at the charts either at 5 o'clock in the morning when I wake up, or when I get home from work at 4:30, I can look at the charts all evening. Now, I'm not looking at the charts all evening because, again, I've done that all day. I know it doesn't do any good. You end up finding, pardon me, opportunities that aren't there or forcing trade. So the time of day that I'll be looking at the charts is between 5 PM and 7 PM, and I will look to seek out the most probable setup on the 6 pairs I'll look at today. And what I will do is produce videos on those daily time frames as I go through the trades I'm taking, why I'm taking them, and setting them up. So we'll go through that as well. So we'll have a look at the charts on the monthly and the weekly basis, and then we'll look at the opportunities that are arising. So if you are on TradingView, you can follow me. All the ideas will be public. Let's just stink. So let's have a look. So we're starting with the dollar index. So the last month we have seen price push towards the 97 cents level and fall back down. We have, however, broken above this 94.5 cents level, which was a previous area of support. So we are on the right side for more bullish momentum. We are currently above the 200 EMA. As we can see, price did push down back in the beginning of the year, rejects this price, and we've seen the dollar gain more bullish momentum. So on the weekly time frame, we can see over the last couple of months, or the last 6 months really, we have respected the 8 EMA, and we are, again, on the weekly, it's more prominent that we've closed above this weekly level, or monthly level I should say, of 94.5 cents. So on the daily, again, just looking at what we've got. So we have got this sort of new range now. We've had a pretty much 100% pullback from the end of July, 1st of August. We pushed up, hit 97 cents, and then fell back down to the 94.5 cents. But since then, the last couple of days, we did start to see some bullish momentum. Now, looking at the higher time frames for me, this is giving a bullish outlook for pairs that would be starting with the dollar, so USD yen, USD CAD, but the pairs that I trade that have the pound in them are Euro pound and dollar pound, so cable and the Euro USD. So I'm looking at bearish momentum here. So on the Euro, let's have a look. We've had pretty much like a head and shoulders setup, which some of you may have seen and may have got involved with. And the biggest thing is where price pushed down, we are obviously below the 200 EMA on the Euro USD. Price has left this big wick on the monthly chart. Now this can be a sign of momentum. It can be, if we look where price obviously did push down into, can be a clue as to what to expect. I mean, again, on the weekly it becomes a bit more apparent. We've still got very bearish momentum. Price has pushed back up into the 8 EMA, respected that, and the 200 pushed down. And this last week we've left this very big hammer. So price has pushed all the way up to the 21 EMA, hit the 200, closed below the 16,400 level, which pretty much is, I guess you could say, that's the neckline of this head and shoulders. So what am I looking for? Well, I only trade, at the moment, I'm just testing trades taken on the 1 hour time frame. So I'll be looking for setups. So just because I'm looking at the chart at 5 o'clock doesn't necessarily mean I will enter the trade at 5 o'clock. It means I'm looking for setups that could play out. Now, the strategy that I've been using for the last couple of weeks, and that I'm testing for the next 3 months at least, is this strategy by forexsignals.com. He uses it on the 5-minute chart for scalping, but I've been testing it on the 1 hour chart and I've been seeing some good results. So that's what I'm continuing to do. I will be looking on certain pairs at the 15-minute chart due to the volatility of that particular pair, mainly the pound yen and pound USD, but on euro dollar, Euro Aussie and Aussie CAD, I will look at both the 15 and the 1 hour chart, just because on those pairs I have had trades on both have played out, and I've got confidence that the setups that provide themselves on those timeframes do work more than they lose. So the simple basis of the strategy is this. You're looking for the direction of the trade. So on the euro, I'm only looking at bearish trend trades. We're looking for the low, and then we're looking for a pullback into this 8 EMA. So what we can see here, what has happened and what is currently setting up is price is pushed down, and we've come down into the, what's that, the 15, let's call it 1585, just so it's a round number, 1585, just bring that up here. So that's the low, 1585, just round numbers. Okay. Prices then push back up into the 8 EMA, and this is what I call the trigger candle. And then prices respected that. So that is a valid setup for trend continuation. Now, the good thing about this strategy, which I have seen work well for me, is the fact that you're using orders. So we are at the high point there, would have been 1610 to round it down. So 1613 is where we'd be 3 pips above. So you find your low point, you find the high point, and this is the area where the order will be set here, 3 pips below here, and the order will go 3 pips above. So actually I've not done the 3 pips below, that's just the actual low, so 3 pips off of this. We're looking for entries at 15,200. There we go. So you'll have 2 entries, or at least the strategy that I'm trading is 2 entries. One is a 1-to-1 risk reward. So this is also how you calculate the risk reward. We've got the area here, your entry and your stop. So we're using that as the calculation of what we're going to risk. So the first target will be 31 pips, and the second target will be a 2-to-1 risk reward. So we can put in here our trades. Also, I'll publish this later, so I'll get this out for the purpose of the video. And also you can then look for confluence within the in the trade. So sorry if I am sort of stopping and starting talking, but it's been a while since I've done these sort of things. What was I saying there? 15, 16, 13, 16, 16, 13, and then that's our 31. So what we need to do here is 31 pips. There we go, risk reward. So there we go, 582. So then we're going to go 31 pips there and 62 pips. 62 pips here. So that would be the setup. So I'd set those orders and I would wait and see if price continued down to push through, or if I was wrong, price would just reverse, go and do whatever it's doing. So if price reverses, I still am trying to determine what stage I would then cancel the order. So if it's 10 pips above, if it breaks recent highs, if it breaks recent support, I'm still working that one out. But on the 4-hour chart, this is the other thing I've been looking at as well, is that when you do these trend continuations, we can start to see some confluence as well. So these trades do tend to line up with previous areas of support and resistance. So that's what I'm looking at on Euro USD, and that's on the hour. I will publish this for the purposes of the video on my trading view, but we'll leave that there for now, and I can come back and set the orders when the market opens. Pound yen, or the beast. So it's been a bit of a choppy one still, pound yen. Let's just go to the line chart to get some recent areas of support and resistance, just some key levels. So really the most recent ones I want to focus on are going to be here at the, what's that, 84.60, 146.84. We've got a low at the 95.141.95 level. Okay. On the monthly. So let's have a look at the week and see what we can see. So you can see price has been going up and down, up and down, up and down. It's been chopping. Now on the weekly, we are still bearish, in my opinion. I know there's some people that might see a potential flag going up, but what I was looking at on the monthly especially is more a case of we've had this big momentum down, we've had a pullback, and we're starting to pull down. The fact that the last monthly candle is still below the 8 EMA, I haven't seen a cross in these EMAs on the higher time frame there, or the weekly, means that I'm looking still at lower movements. Now, I do want to test this strategy for swing trading as well, so on the higher time frames such as the daily and the weekly. But we'll have a look and see what we've got. So down on the daily, we're sort of in the middle of this range really. As you can see, price is pushed below 46.84. We did push down below this monthly level and we've popped back up. So looking down at the hour chart, so what have we got that's going on? So again, there's a potential setup just here. Looking at the price pushing down, pulling back up, we've pushed down, we've pulled back up. Now, the price did not break above the 21, so realistically, this would be the true range that I would want to base the trade on. Now, given that this is the pound yen, it obviously has a lot more volatility than the Euro USD, and it has a lot more power to wipe you out a lot quickly. So look, that range there is a good 73 pips. I don't know, looking at the 15-minute chart, what we would have. So I think realistically, for this trade I would want something like this, where the price is pushed down, pushed up to the 8 EMA, and then we've gone off. So just taking that as an example, you know, we've got, that's 38 pips. So from here, you would have hit target 1, and you'd still be in this trade because your stop would still be 3 pips above the height. So you'd still be in, so your target ones would have been hit, price would have come back up, not taking you out, and would still be going down. But I would want to see price push down, pull back on the 8 EMA on the pound yen for an entry, just because it would minimise the risk. I mean, there is a valid setup on the hour, but we will see what happens. But I will be looking at sort of bearish action based on the higher time frames. Pound dollar cable. So let's just put in a couple of levels on here on the line chart. So most recently we are pushing, this is interesting, we are pushing down into this point here. So we're looking at the 29,275, and then most recently the point that's jumping out at me is a 33,990 level. So, oh, I don't want Heikin-Ashi, I want candles. There we go. So we can see that price has pushed down on monthly. We've had across now the EMAs. Although price did close above this level that we've seen respected in the past, due to the bearish momentum, I have a bearish outlook. We come down to the weekly. Price has been respecting the 8 EMA, closed below the 8 EMA. We've got a interesting setup here. So, depending on your approach, if you want to use trend lines, you can see that we pretty much are respecting a trend line that's really been sort of flowing on the higher time frames, on the daily there. I'm sure if we look at the 4 hour, there's a different setup, but you can see we've just been creating lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So on the 1 hour, that's what I want to look at for potential setups moving forward. Again, I just want to be looking at bearish setups. We've got this trade here now. I don't think I will be able to get involved in this potential setup simply because, depending on what happens with price when the market opens, if it does gap or push lower, I'm not going to be able to put any orders in to be filled. But good potential there. So let's have a quick look here. So we'll just use the trend lines just to get these. So we're looking at lows of 29,456. So 3 pips below. I want to round up, so we'll go to 46. Just flat. So our entry is going to be at 29.43. That's where the order entry would be. Stops would want to go 3 pips above. So again, we'll go to 69 just to round that up. So 3 pips above, we're looking at 72 for the stops. Okay. So we're going to look at our price range, determine what the risk reward will be. Again, it does look very similar to 72.43. That's 29 pips. That's not a bad risk reward. So orders would look something like this. If I can get this to sit where I want it. 43. We know that needs to be 29 pips. And we know target 1 needs to be 29 pips. Okay. Now, as you can see, with all of these things that I'm doing and setting them up, it's not the quickest thing in the world, which isn't a bad thing. It gives you more time to consider what you're actually doing, where we're going. 42, that's the entry. So we're looking at 58 pips for the target 2. And again, as I was saying earlier, you can look at areas that the price, it's not really apparent here, but certainly target 1 would take us down to the 200 EMA. So I'll leave that there. That's the sort of trade set I'll be looking for on the pound dollar. Euro Oz. So, goodness me. Right, for now, just put a couple of levels in. So, most recently, I would say 730. Right, 730 there. And we are right, as you can see now. I mean, look at that. Very interesting area on the monthly. Now, that's not to say that price won't break this level, but in the past, it really has respected this, but it's very choppy, the Euro Oz. Probably more so than the pound yen. So let's just have a quick look at the weekly chart now. As you can see, some might be seeing a double top here. And again, it's shown in the past previous areas when it's got to this point, although it's broke above this sort of flat level at 6,400. It hasn't closed really. I would be looking for longs if price closed above the level here at 65. What's that, 875? So, there's nothing I would want to really get involved with because it's still been very bullish, but we've now sort of started to range. So we've had a 1, 2, 3 in this area here on the daily. Price is pushing up, so there might be some bullish. I did take some bullish trades last week off of this, so let's look at the 1 hour and see what we're doing now. As you can see on the 1 hour chart, it does paint a very bullish picture. Although price did sort of break, it didn't close below these lows, pushed but didn't close and then continued up. So we have been creating higher lows, higher highs on the 1 hour time frame. And what we have got here is, again, a potential setup. As you can see, price pushing up, 8 EMA pushed up. What does this look like on the 15-minute chart? Okay. So on the 1 hour, it's one I'll be watching. It's still very bullish in my opinion, so I'll be looking for buys on this. I might wait to see if price pushes up and then a further pullback before I got involved. But as you can see, when you're looking at the charts and you're looking at ones that have got potential setups, it all comes down to your own risk management, what the risk is on each trade, how many positions you're happy to open up, and how many positions that your account will allow. Because I think the new rules now also state that if you have certain positions open, say you had 6 positions open, you're trading on each of these pairs, if your margin drops below 50% of your overall margin, you will get closed down. So it's, for me, developing a habit of just picking out the trades that are there and sticking with the one that has the potential to be the most likely to come through, so the most probable trade. So the last pair to look at is the Aussie CAD. So again, very consolidated, but we're down at a very interesting level now on the monthly. Could we see a break? Could we see a bounce? Could be a good opportunity to look for longs. Now we're at the sort of bottom of this potential range. So you had this level here, which it has broken, which we'd be looking at the sort of 63 level, I think. And the next one on the radar, really, that's sort of a bit of consolidation there, but I mean, I think we could see potential push lower into this 92, 28 level. So let's go back to the candles and we'll see. So as you can see, I think we're still going to see a push lower. So I think for the time being, based on this, I would be looking for continuation down to the 92 to 80 level. So let's go down to the hour chart. And what do we see here? So again, possible setup. A possible setup. Now there's a bigger range here because we're right at the top of the range. We have closed lower, so we've broken lower, prices pulled back. Let's have a little look and see what we've got. So price pushed down to the 93.63. So we'd want entries at 93.60. Okay, 93.60. There. And stops, we'd be looking at 93.96. Now the only thing with Aussie CAD, the spread does go a bit wider. Unlike Euro Dollar. This is the other thing I need to consider, is depending on the pair that I'm trading, what are the spreads like? Do I need to have a wider stop? Do I need to have a wider entry? Just because even though it's 3 pips above, the spread could be 7 or 8 pips, and that will just take you out on the spread. Not the price, just the actual spread. So I think on Aussie CAD, just to make sure that if I did enter, I didn't get stopped out just by the spread. I want price, the actual candles taken out, not the spread. So I would say I'm going to go with 6 pips above here. So we'll go for 9 here and 9 here. Just so we've got 6 pip stop. We'll go for a 6 pip entry as well, just to keep things consistent. So we will go with 57. Okay. What are we looking at with the price range? So 57.99, 57 flat, and 99. We're looking at 42 pips. So that's 42 pips for the first position, 84 for a second, over 100 pips overall for 2 positions. Not bad. Okay. So 93.57. We'll go short 93.57. 93.57. We're going for 42 pips. 42 pips. Okay. That's position 1. And then position 2, we're going for 84 pips. So we'll go 84 pips here. 57. Job's a good one. So there's potential you could go further. I mean, it depends. I mean, let's look at the 4-hour chart, just see. Again, we are pushing rather low, but the problem that I've had in the past also, I mean, it's not really much confirmation for a while, is there, over here? You know, target 1s would come in, target 2s, yes, it's not bad. The problem I've had in the past is taking unrealistic, although my trades would be 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, I always used to take trades that would just be so large that they would never really, I'd always get stopped out. I'd just be in the wrong place, but against my method that I was looking at. So we've got, of the 6 pairs we've looked at today, so we've got an opportunity, I would say, on the Euro USD for 31 pip risk, 31.62. Pound yen, want to wait for some more confirmation on the 15-minute chart. Pound dollar, 29 for 29, and then 58 on the second target. Again, a bit more volatile, depends how the price opens up, so I don't think price would give me a chance to set that order, so we'll leave that one for the moment. Euro Oz, I want more confirmation about what price is doing. Again, we could see price shoot up, but I want more confirmation just because it is, in some ways, that could be a 3-bar reversal. We'll see what happens. And then Aussie CAD. Again, it doesn't move the most volatile. It's got a wider spread, but I do like this pair. That's one of the pairs recently. So I think overall, Euro USD, Aussie CAD would be the ones I'll be looking at. The strategy, if you want to understand what it's about, is at forexsignals.com. It's simple and profitable forex scalping strategy. I've just adopted it for my own approach on the 1 hour, sort of 50-minute chart. What I'd like to do is close this video by just looking at a few of the ideas that I have put together over the last weeks, just so you can see what I've been testing, really. This one's from the 27th of August. I don't think I've really been updating many of these. Again, this was on a 4-hour chart, so again, I've changed my approach. That idea, I just cancelled the order because it failed. Price moved higher. Euro USD. I can already see here, as order backed higher, cancel the order. So price pushed up first, cancel that order, not valid. The Beast, again, it was this trigger here, so I think I was looking at the 15-minute for the actual entries, but again, cancel the order because price pushed higher. So as you can see straight away, the risk, even though you're putting these ideas together, the risk is greatly reduced, which is great for me. I don't look at the, it's between this or the pound yen. I've always preferred the pound yen over the dollar yen just because of the volatility. This trade, again, price did, well, look at that. So price did push higher, so I cancelled the order, but it did eventually hit target 1. But this is what I mean, when price goes higher, I need to look at what point I would cancel the order. So pretty much this setup occurred here. I can't tell because the EMAs don't show on the ideas, but I'm pretty certain because we had this level, this shelf, sort of head and shoulders, similar sort of setup would have happened there. So Aussie CAD, what did we have? So again, price pushed down, pulled back up into the 8 EMA, and this is a good example of once we've pushed down into price. I think my order did initially get filled there, price pushed up first, then it just continued down, so that was a good trade. That gave me confidence that it worked. Aussie CAD, I had another opportunity. This one you can see I got stopped out for 436 pips. So what happened? So this is what I was saying about the spread and my targets on Aussie CAD. So it might just be there was too much momentum to start with, but price did all go to hit target 1, but I did get stopped out for, that was 94.52, 94.68. So about 8 or 10 pips higher that pushed. But again, that's part of it. I'm not going to win every single trade. Euro USD. This one I got stopped out for 28 pips. So again, price pushed up, pull back to 8 EMA, as per the rules. Valid setup. On the Euro though, I think I will just stick to the hour chart. But you can see price just entered and then it fell. But this is what happens, every trade doesn't play out. Euro USD, so we're now on the short. So after this trade on the 15, I was like, okay, we can look at short opportunities then. So price pushed down, pulled back up, cancelled order as price pushed higher, which made it no longer valid. However, as we can see, the short bias at that point was correct, and certainly target 1s would have been filled. We still would have been, how many pips shy away at the moment? So that's 81. Would have been 4 pips away from target at that point. So happy with that, even though I got stopped. Aussie CAD 15-minute. Order filled. I got stopped out for 16 pips. This is what I'm talking about. The spread took me out, but the price did. So here we go. This is what I'm talking about, spread. Look at that. So although price did push me up, well, I say spread, I did get I think I got stopped out sooner than this happened. So I think price got to about here, and I think the spread just, I was stopped out. Price did obviously take me out, but overall direction, you can tell, as you can see, that's where price went. It would have filled. Just the entry on that one wasn't wrong. That might be because I was on the 15-minute chart. So again, need to learn from these lessons. Pound. So this is what I was looking at. So pretty much, this was one of the trades I took last week. So I did have a loser on that Aussie CAD, but I did get 104 pips out of this trade, which covered the Aussie CAD loss and made up for it. So as you can see, this is on the 30-minute chart on the pound. Yeah, not the hour chart, so that'd be interesting. So this is the big chart. So I think I've already got this opportunity mapped out. So this trade here that I was talking about, obviously I've changed the colour scheme since. This opportunity on Friday is still an order that's open. We've not yet been filled. But as you can see, I'm testing it just because it's a test. I know realistically I probably need to be looking at a 15-minute or a 30-minute chart, but for the sake of testing, as you can see, it's 78 pips, which means it's either 150 pips in total with the two positions, or, you know, we're over 200 pips if it wins. So we'll see what happens with that one. And I do actually have, I think, the same order. Again, a very short one on the Euro USD, but as you can see, I didn't actually get filled on this order. It's still in me, but you can see how close price. This is, I mean, the spread was so tight, it pushed down in reverse. So at the minute, I will cancel that trade because that setup was invalid. Price is pushed high, so that potential setup is invalid. I'll have to wait till the market's open at 10 o'clock to set the orders if price doesn't drop off the face of the earth. But again, we'll put here cancelled order as invalid, price pushed higher. Okay, but that's that. So all my ideas will be on my trading view. Sorry for the length of this video, but I thought I just wanted to sort of set the scene a little bit, and moving forward, if I find setups, I mean, there will be some days where just won't be any setups between the hours that I'm looking at them, therefore I won't take a trade. Part of the game and part of what I need to do. Not every day is a trading day, but hopefully if you are like me and you've been learning for a while, you have a competent understanding of the markets, but you can't master yourself. I hope that in the coming weeks I can start to show the fact that I'm gaining consistency. That's what this is about. This is my way of accounting for what I'm doing. People have trading journals. There's another one I'm going to be setting up. But this is just my way of sticking to a plan, holding myself accountable, and this way, by posting the ideas, other people can also comment and give their view on them. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we will see how these trades play out, and obviously shorter videos will follow during the week. But have a nice Sunday. Look at your charts, set your